Connecting changes everything.
And we welcome you back. Let's talk hoop. If the Philadelphia 76ers are going to tie this series with the Knicks in Game 2, they're going to have to do it without Joel Embiid. Let's head to the Garden, where Lisa Salters is standing by, as if a 39-point loss in the opener were not enough. No Joel. What's the extent of this injury?
Yeah, Ernie. Well, Joel Embiid was ruled out after shoot-around this morning with hip and ankle injuries. Now, according to the 76ers, Embiid woke up with increased pain in his right ankle. That's an injury that they say he sustained during Game 1. So he woke up with increased pain in his right ankle, but also increased pain in his right hip. And they say that's an issue that's kind of just been nagging, lingering since the physical play of the first round. So again, Embiid apparently woke up with pain in his right ankle, right hip. He didn't participate in shoot-around this morning, spent that time instead on the training table, and it was after receiving treatment that the medical staff decided to rule him out for tonight's game. Now, I did ask Nick Nurse about Embiid's status for Game 3. And Nick said, I don't know. He said right now Embiid is considered day-to-day. He said, I'm really just worried about Game 2 right now, but Embiid is day-to-day, so we'll have to wait and see for Game 3. And Andre Drummond will likely start in place of Joel Embiid for tonight's Game 2, Ernie.
Lisa Salters, thank you very much, as she joins us live from Madison Square Garden. So, wow. Look, you know how much this guy loves to play. You know how much he has been limited in how much he can play. Now, what's Philly doing?
Well, I mean, if you're Philly, you've had practice all year because he missed the bulk of the season. And so I think you'll see more VJ Edgecombe. And I think Paul George will get more involved. Obviously, Maxi's going to do what he do. But, you know, they've been preparing for this. It's unfortunate, though. I feel really bad for Joel. Like you said, you know how much he wants to play. You've seen the emotion coming out at the end of that last series against Boston. But you also had to question and wonder if he'd be healthy enough to make it through these series. You know, the playoffs are far more physical than the regular season, and he's just now getting back into that. So it's unfortunate. I feel bad for him, but I think Philly's equipped to still go out there and possibly win a game.
I mean, for a night, yes. For a series, no. He just affects the game in too many ways. That's how they got out of the first round. He affects the game in 6 different categories. If you're talking about scoring, rebounds, and assists, those are the obvious. But the pace of the game, he affects the double team. You have to double team him now, which is creating a separate offense. You just throw the ball to him, they have to double him, and now there's a new offense. Because he affects the game in so many ways, you can't sustain it over a series against the better teams in the league. But maybe for a night, like you said, Paul George or BJ Edgecombe goes crazy. And then lastly, defensively. So, you know, I think there are too many holes that he plugs for them to be elite, for them to go on and beat the Knicks in this series.
Boy, the Knicks are going to the conference finals.
Yes, they are.
This is, I smell blood in the water. If I'm the Knicks, I'm like, guys, let's get that hammer and nail out in that coffin. We're coming out here tonight because Philly they can't beat us. We've drubbed them by 35, 40 with him. Without him, if I'm this is all about the Knicks tonight. I'm like, if I'm a Coach Brown and Jay's like, I mean, man, let's just come out. They know they can't beat us. Let's don't give them any hope, because what can happen, you saw at the games in Boston, if you let this thing come close with Maxey and Edgecombe and Paul George, anything can happen if it's a close game down the stretch. But I ain't letting it be close down the stretch. I'm coming out from 0-0 and put my foot on their neck and get this thing over with quick and painless.
Got to get more than 9 shots out of Tyrese Maxey tonight. I mean, I'm thinking we're getting a heap and helping of Tyrese tonight.
Well, again, with Joel Embiid, and he could, I would say this, he can get 17 points with Joel Embiid, and they could be super impactful. You know, because one, they're going to be easier, and then he's a great one-on-one player who cannot be doubled when Joel Embiid is on the floor. He might get 28 tonight. He played 45 minutes in one game. This will be the hardest 45 minutes for him because double teams are coming and all those things. Now, he is equipped, and he has everything, Draymond, to score the basketball. But he can get an easy 20, an impactful 20, and a hard 30 tonight.
I agree with that to a certain extent. Where I think it changes for Maxey, though, is to your point of the pace, the game slows down with Joel. Maxey want to play fast. And so now I think it makes it tougher on Carl that now you got to try to keep up with Maxey running. You got to try to keep up with VJ Ashcombe running. So I think the Knicks are winning tonight. But Philly's path to winning is they just got to push the ball, and I think ultimately that helps Tyrese Maxey more than it hurts him.
And I agree with that. The only way Philly going to win this game is turn into a track meet. Because if you go back and look at the last game, you talk about Joel defense. They were attacking Joel defensively. Like he can't move anymore. They were killing him on that pick and roll, and Carl was out running up and down the floor. But if Philly's going to win, Max and VJ and Paul George got to go crazy.
And you won't see a 16-3 New York advantage in fast break points like you did in Game 1. Hey, the Knicks. I was in New York last night. Went to a dinner in New York last night.
Congratulations.
Shout out the T. Howard Foundation.
Yeah, congratulations.
No, I'm not asking for that.
No. They just told us you got an award. Congratulations.
It was very nice of them.
That's all right.
But here's the deal. All I heard all night long at the hotel and anywhere else was, hey, Knicks, how far? Hey, man. I said, hey, they're as hot as anybody right now. They are playing great basketball, and it was like that second loss to the Hawks was like a, hey. And now their closest game has been 16. It's impressive what they have done to this point, Dre.
It's very impressive. I think they've started to figure it out, though. Like, the more the season has gone on, Karl Towns has moved from the block to the high post. And I think that's changed everything. I think that's allowed Jalen Brunson to get going more at different times. As opposed to him needing to pound the life out the ball, he's getting it off Karl Towns' hands, and he's getting straight into a move. I think that's changed this team a lot. But I'm going to tell you a problem the Knicks are going to have, and Kenny's going to hate this, but they win these games. It's the second round of playoffs, and everybody's running around. They're having parades. They're trapping J.R. Smith outside of Madison Square Garden. Let's not have a parade before you win the thing, Knicks fans. But y'all do the same thing, and then y'all wonder why y'all players quit in the conference finals. They got the parade already.
Hey, listen, I'm Ken NY, but I'm not Ken NY Knicks. I was trying to beat them, too. I was trying to beat them when I was in the league, too. So, but I tell you, the one thing, they are super hot. But the playoffs, you're super hot until you meet the matchup that slows you down. Because when you beat a team in a series, especially 7 games, and you start getting momentum in that series.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the next series is going to happen. So, case in point, we played a series where they would never double pick and rolls. I came off lighting. I was lighting people up. Smithereens shooting the ball out, shooting it out the socket. The next series, they doubled every possession. Now you make, they're like, where are all these threes that you had? They're doubling every possession. So every possession, every series is different. And so you have to figure out what happens.
Closest game they played in the last 4 was a 16-point win over the Hawks. The other 3 by 29, by 51, and by 39. And tonight they face a Sixer team without Embiid. Draymond replacing Shaq tonight. The technical foul count about to go up at the desk.
Fred Abdon, you always tweet in, brother.
Oh, how do you remember? You don't remember.
I remember everything.
No,
He's a regular.
Charles claims to know everybody.
I remember the name.
Who tweets?
I remember Freddie now, too. Cut it out, Freddie.
When we come back, Minnesota swiped the home court edge in San Antonio.